Hello everybody, welcome back to another video of a North Shore Detail. My name is Nicolas Pazzo, the owner of North Shore Details, which is a mobile detailing company out of Eastern Massachusetts. We service the areas between Boston to Rockport and from the North Shore border all the way up into New Hampshire. You can check us out at www.northshoredetails.com where you can book now. You can check out our services list and you can check out our gallery as well too. Our Instagram is at nsd_Boston if you really want to get a kind of view of all of our content. That's really cool. It's creative. But anyways, for today's video, we have this Toyota Solara that we picked up from our client in Ipswich, brought it back to our shop in Malden, and then dropped it back off in Ipswich when we were done. But this Toyota Solara is definitely an older car. The dirt in there was piled up for years. She said she had not gotten it detailed since pre-COVID. And honestly, you never really know exactly what was done to a car anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and say this thing hasn't been detailed in years. So we used all of our tools. I actually did a lot more for this vehicle at the price point I was charging just because I saw the opportunity for content in this video. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share, and enjoy the video, guys. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get right into it. This is going to be the Toyota Solara for today. This is a convertible car. Obviously, the client loves this car. Toyota doesn't make the Solara anymore, so it's almost like her little collector for now, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she'll want us to do some polishing on it later on in life, but, she just wanted to get it back to something that's nice and drivable. Just got out of hand. She said it was done pre-COVID. That's for sure. Definitely was done maybe a way before COVID, and I really couldn't tell you when it was done. At least professionally detailed. The carpets are brown. It's just like a lot of wear and tear from neglect, basically. So you have a lot of this built up dust in the car as well too because of neglect. That's just all it really is. And it's fine. That's what people call us for, just when it gets to a point where they're just like, you know what, I am in way over my head. It's going to be so much work. That's usually when we get called for projects like this, at least. With these Toyota dashes, they really do hold on to a lot of the dust as well too, and dirt. Sometimes those dashes kind of almost become sticky and it just like sticks to it's like that plastic leathery kind of feel. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just sucks to deal with. You even try to use a microfiber on it and it kind of gets all stuck. But so here we are working on these carpets, and we're just going to use a little bit of compressed air to start. And what I realized throughout doing this with the air compressor is, one, this stuff was like hitting me in my face. So I really didn't like how that was feeling. And on top of that, it was just like a dust storm, dust cloud everywhere. And on top of that, this thing was so dirty that my air compressor would just only have enough power for so long, and then my whole the tank would be completely empty. So like I would only have, I would barely have any pressure coming through my air compressor, so then it was almost like useless. So I ended up, scratching that idea because it was just so crazy. I've seen people using like those massagers and using their polishers to kind of like vibrate the dust and dirt out of the carpets and stuff like that. I really should have done that, just at least try it. I haven't tried it yet, but it is what it is, and I just didn't try it. Could have, but maybe next time. So either way, here we are. I'm just knocking out as much as I can with the vacuum. This is really, with these carpets, it was almost like useless. So it was quick with the vacuum, and then I'm just really going to start hammering down on this like kind of dusty dirt action that's going on in here. So with this, I'm just spraying a carpet cleaner. I got this carpet cleaner from the Detail Garage in Swansea, Massachusetts. It's actually kind of like one of the closer detailing supply places or warehouses around me. I like to use AutoZone and stuff like that, like for emergency only. But it'd be nice if there was a few more like detailing stores in Massachusetts. So if anybody knows of any that are like that are close to like the Boston area, let me know. I know there's one like Finish Master. They got a lot of like decent detail and stuff, but usually you have to like put an order in first. And quite frankly, I'm not really too sure what their catalog is at any given time. So I just wish there was a place that I can go. Anyways, so I got this carpet cleaner from there. It was like a 5-gallon container, and this was maybe like $50 for the 5-gallon container for this carpet cleaner. And it works very well, like on mild to moderately stained carpets. For this one, it's like a very, very heavily stained carpet. So we actually had to boost up the strength of the cleaning product to a degreaser, diluted 2-to-1, which is very, very strong for a degreaser. So we were really trying to like give it some power to kind of clean these carpets. Like as you can see, we're literally bringing out all the tools for this thing. This is just for one carpet. How many like different steps we're using on one carpet? It's crazy, and how much time we can spend on one carpet. But here we're just using our steam cleaner to just kind of help that cleaning product, penetrate and lift up any dirt that is trapped and staining the fabric of the carpet. So we're just going very, very slowly, as slowly as possible. It was windy, so the steam wasn't really able to stay on the carpet like super, super long. But, we just kind of kept it with the short strokes and, just worked our way very slowly around the whole entire carpet just to make sure we don't miss any spots. This was done over and over again. I want to say this was probably done about 4 times for each carpet. And this same process was done 3 times for each carpet. The 4th time we did the carpets was I actually just used the pressure washer, because it ended up every time that, I would keep on moving on to the next carpet, the first carpet would start to dry, and it would actually start to dry like brown, like a brownish color. So the fabric was really stained. So I ended up finding out that I could take out a lot more of the dirt with the pressure washer. And even after I cleaned it 4 times with the extractor, the degreaser, the steam cleaner, and the vacuum and all that stuff, even after all of that, like it still kind of was a little brown. So like I did as much as I could. But then I just had to kind of remind myself, like, hey, yes, I know I'm doing this for content, but at the same time, like, I do have to get done with the rest of the car, so let's start to move on. These carpets are the original carpets to this car, and, if you don't take care of it, the thing will not take care of you. When you have a hole in the carpet, there's only so much you can expect somebody to do, but I did the best that I could with these carpets, and I really loved how they came out. The client loved them as well too. It was just crazy to see how much dirt was still coming out of those carpets though, after I did it 3 times and then decided for the 4th time, let me just use a pressure washer and then just do an extraction to get all the water out, and still all the dirt that was still in there was just honestly mind blowing. So after that 4th time, I just decided to give it a break, give it a rest, and call it a day and move on to the next thing. So in between me doing these carpets, I was just like, you know what? If I keep on looking at these 2 carpets and I have 2 more to go, I'm gonna lose my brain. So or lose my mind. So I decided to, hey, let me just start working on the interior of the car. So I used the air compressor to blow out like behind or right next to the tracks of the seats that move it back and forth, to kind of start loosening up all the dirt and the dust and everything like that and the debris inside of the car. And then I just use my vacuum and start sucking up all the big stuff and, just kind of going at it. With vacuum in an interior of a car, it's usually done in like phases. At least for me it is. You guys do it any other way, comment down below. But how I do it is I do it with just the intention first of getting everything big that I can off of the ground. It's kind of weird how I do it. Like I start with the ground and then I kind of work my way up. But I just feel like I could see more progress that way. And if I see progress, then I feel good. So I like to just make sure the floor gets clean first. And then I'll kind of like hit the dash, hit the seats, hit like the center console, stuff like that. just so I could see a bulk of the project getting done. So here I am just kind of tacking these carpets that were underneath the mats, using the drill brush. This drill brush attachment is different than the one I was using before. The one I was using before was flat. This is more of a, I guess you can almost call it like a cone kind of thing. But this helps get in the corners, and it doesn't get stuck or anything like that, because the flat is just for flat surfaces. There's so many different angles to the interior of a car, so this helps get in every small angle. Here we're just using some degreaser to get the pedals clean. These pedals were so dirty. I mean, if you can only imagine what the car, I mean, you already know what the carpet looks like, so just imagine that on these pedals as well too. It just, that's where your feet are. Your feet go there as well. So the little circles there are raised circles, so it's almost like so it can kind of be a grip for your shoe, I guess, on the pedal. And just around those circles is just so disgusting and dirty. I wish you could see the color of the liquid that's dropping from these pedals. It's crazy. So we got those all cleaned. We got the footrest all clean as well too. Got that all done up, and I want to say the next thing we're about to do is just kind of get the plastic part of the door jamb. Well, of course you got to dry that off first. Get all that dirt off that you can, because if you don't actually dry this off and you kind of just let that just air dry, it could leave some like watermarks, and sometimes it leaves some of that dirty drip water, because you just used water in the steam cleaner, it just drips down. So you just want to make sure you pick up all the excess water from the steam cleaner and stuff like that. So here's what I was talking about. This is like the door jamb plastic for the interior part of the car. Clean that all up. That gets kicked by your feet every single time you get in and out of the car. I mean, even if you don't mean to, it's getting hit at some point. So you just want to make sure that gets all cleaned up, because if we didn't hit that, you'd be able to tell, because this car was very dusty. So if you missed one spot, you could definitely see it, especially how I was cleaning this car. So I got up in there with the steam cleaner. This car was also one of those cars that right on the floor, right where like my left hand is, there's like it's like a little lever for the gas tank, and I want to say it's for the trunk. So I'm just kind of cleaning and getting up underneath there, and this little kind of clip right there. So I'm just going very, very like short stroking it like down in that little crack. That's where that is. And a lot of, leaves get trapped down there, dirt gets trapped down there, and you have to, you're popping the trunk and you're popping the gas cap just so you can make sure you get in and underneath those levers, because it gets really dirty. And if you can clean that out, it looks so, so nice right when you get in the car. So now we're moving on to the center console and cup holder areas. Here I'm using a degreaser that is diluted. I want to say it's about like 6-1 here. And this car was so dirty. So we're just kind of getting all up in the cracks and crevices of this thing. Sometimes you have to be very careful with the steam cleaner because, especially on these plastic pieces, some of that hot water can just leave like a little drop mark, and it kind of doesn't look all that great. So sometimes you might want to just wrap it with a towel. I should have wrapped it with a towel, but this car was so filthy. It really didn't matter. Like the damage, whatever damage was there had already been done. You know what I mean? But you could definitely wrap it with a little bit of a microfiber towel, and it'll kind of be a little bit easier on the plastic pieces. But on this car really didn't need anything easy about it. Like everything that needed to be done to this car needed to be done like hardcore. So here we are, just making sure we hit every side of everything. And that's what the whole thing with detailing is all about. You pay for a quality service where, you wouldn't get this kind of service at a car wash. You get it only with a detailer that knows exactly what and how to do everything, So these details usually this one took, I want to say, maybe like 8 hours to do. But, at the end of the day, it only took 8 hours because I really wanted to make this video. So I could have done it in a little bit of a shorter time, but I really wanted to get super, super deep into this just so I could show you guys you know, the extent of, you know, my detailing lifestyle. So here I am. I like this vacuum attachment because it kind of helps lift up the dust, and it kind of helps get into the vents because of the little bristles that are in there. And now I just use the air compressor. Very, very careful with the air compressor around these buttons because you might be able to pop it out with the air compressor. So I kind of keep it at a distance. So with women, because the client was a female, and women use makeup. Most of them do. Some don't, obviously, but when they use the makeup, and if they do it in the cars, it gets all over like the steering wheel, the signal light, the signal changers, you know, where your windshield wiper control. It gets all over the shifter and the emergency brake. So the steam cleaner helps get all of that caked on makeup off of the steering wheel and stuff like that. Just trying to get into the vents, make sure we kind of clean that all out, get all the dust out. With this car, like, it was just super dusty and dirty, so we used a lot of microfibers to this day. So we're just kind of getting in there. Obviously, this is how fast I go in real life. Now, I'm just joking. This is definitely sped up like 10 times. But now here's what it kind of looks like afterwards. Like, you can kind of see like how it is like a little bit brown, but that's how, like, the best case scenario that we can do. You know what I mean? We got the little lines in there, you know, but you just need a new carpet at this point. But here we go with the interior, looking fantastic. We just coated up everything on the inside that was plastic with a leather, vinyl, and plastic protectant. All the doors were done. And, you know, that's the best case scenario for those carpets. Those look like, you know, like day and night compared to how we first started. And there's no leaves on the inside. Just was a really, really good job with the car. And the client was happy, which is the most important part. So here's the exterior of the car when we were done. We did a very, very basic, like, kind of exterior cleaning on this. I really, 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 really wanted her to do the polishing on it, and it would have just set it off on a whole nother level. Here are the wheels now. And here's the other wheel. This wheel did look a little crazy before, but anyways, looks great now. The paint was clayed. The reflection is looking so nice. And of course, we sealed it up as well, too. And guys, if you liked the video, just make sure you like it. You comment down below if you have any questions. Hit me up. And also make sure you share and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next video, guys.